Hello and welcome! We're gonna wrap up getting freaky on a Friday today with Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Being an adult is super unfun.
Coming to Disney Channel.
This Freaky Friday was released in 2018 on the Disney Channel. It is the newest of our Disney Channel original movies, and it is based on a musical adaptation of the novel written by Mary Rogers, and the third of our Freaky Friday installments. And just like the other two films, this one is completely different with how they change around things with the adaptation compared to the others. Everyone's actually really different, which I do appreciate, but I still favor the second one the best. Instead of a fortune cookie in this one, we have a magic hourglass that the mother and the daughter end up grabbing onto and singing and wishing that they were the other person.
But just one day, just one day, just one day, just one day, just one day.
And magically they transform without knowing. Of course, as soon as I want to transform back, the hourglass breaks, and that forwards the plot for them having to find the second hourglass that the mother sold years ago to an antique shop. It's the exact same idea where they have to learn to respect one another. They're both, again, the daughter's older here, she's 16, so I do appreciate that. And the newest edition of this is it's a musical. It was based off the musical adaptation that ran in Washington, D.C. It never made it to Broadway, but they did take this. And Tom Kitt did help write the music for this, and Tom Kitt did work on the music for other Broadway shows, like Next to Normal. He's also worked on musicals such as If Then and Bring It On, but I know him best for Next to Normal, and I was definitely reminded of Next to Normal with these songs that they did in this film. They have a very similar vibe to one another, but Next to Normal has a lot more superior songs compared to what they did with this one. The actors are really talented. The mother sounds so much like Idina Menzel. I actually looked up her credits because she does a lot of theater. I'm really surprised that she hasn't played Elphaba yet in Wicked, because her voice is so similar to it, and she'd be phenomenal as Elphaba. She's done Ursula on Broadway in The Little Mermaid, but she hasn't done Elphaba, so maybe in the future, I don't know. I would like to see her play that. She would be phenomenal as her. And we have the daughter as well, who is also really talented. I cannot pronounce her name. I know I can't, so these are the actors.
Hi, I'm Cozy Zulsdorf.
And I'm Heidi Blickenstaff.
And we're starring in Freaky Friday on Disney Channel.
They did a really great job for what they were given. They definitely have the talent. But my problem is that the changes they made were not that great changes. Instead, they have this gigantic scavenger hunt that the school's looking forward to, and it's after hours, it's all night, and the mother doesn't want her to go to it, even though it's a huge deal. This is where I feel like I'm an old person and I cannot relate to anything that I'm watching anymore that's related to teenagers. Because this entire movie, it's just so bright and colorful, first of all, which it seems like an artistic look, but I feel like that same colorful, bright cheeriness on film, everything's so cookie cutter. Zombies had the same look to it, and I feel like we're just getting the same carbon copies of different stories for this generation, but it's not really relatable. Like, I cannot even relate to this at all because everything's so different anymore. There's so much focus on the technology that everyone has their phones now, and that's how they communicate. And even within the first couple of seconds of this film, the intro, they're on their phones in their bed and they don't talk to each other for a minute. it's not that long ago, but it really shows even the difference of 2003's Freaky Friday to this Freaky Friday. They're completely two different aesthetics and vibes, and I obviously relate to the 2003 one because I lived during that time. And I was a teenager during that time, but I just don't know what it is, but I just can't relate. It's just completely foreign to me. I don't know why. I wasn't that enjoyable. I feel like they did put a lot more focus on the mother and daughter and the school. And they did copy a lot of the same stuff from the second movie. The fact that she is getting married again, the mother. But instead of her being a psychologist, she is trying to run her own wedding and catering business and design her own wedding and become a business savvy woman in the modern age.
I mean, look, I love my kids, I love my work, I love my life, and I love my fiance, and in a day I'll be his wife.
Her fiance, I don't even remember his name, is basically in the background. We don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about his personality. He's just there. And that's where I really like the second film a lot better as well, because like I mentioned before, at least with Ryan, I know Ryan's name, I know the fiance's name, and he's such a bigger part of their family and the movie that we get to know what his personality is like, and we get to see why they fit well together, and he's not just in the background just being like, yeah, I'm gonna marry him tomorrow and that's the conflict, because that's what it felt like. The songs were okay, but then they kept running into each other. That we would start with a song, and then we would continue on, and then they would pick the same song up again with different characters.
Call me a slob or a slackerish blob. I can act like a snob and fool that mob. I got this like it's my job.
And it got a little bit frustrating after a while. It wasn't terrible, and I did like the ending song, but then at the same time I also was getting infuriating because when they did something clever, like her holding her phone and then switching over to the phone camera.
Too long, we see our reflection. Too long, it's all that we ever know. But be strong, reverse your direction, and watch your power grow.
Which was really cool. She then proceeded to throw her phone into the air and disappeared.
Unless you're looking at me, unless you're finally free.
Do you not know how much that cost? That these phones cost $1,000 basically at this point, to $1,000 for a phone, and you're just throwing it up in the air without a care. Like, that is completely stupid. I know it's completely minor and shouldn't matter, but moments like that insanely frustrated me and ruined the entire scene for me. But it's not terrible. It was still a pretty enjoyable film for what it was, but because of the fact that we have two other films prior to this one, I have my favorites. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsey Lohan is my favorite Freaky Friday that we've seen. But this is it for Freaky Fridays. We're going to continue onwards. We have no more discussion about this. And tomorrow we're going to talk about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So you can stay tuned. And as always, I hope you have a magical day. And I'll see you real soon.